Good afternoon. My name is William Burchard. I'm a scientist with ASB, Masters in Math, EE, and also have designed a robotic arm for NASA. So today what I'd like to talk about is the long-range explosive detector. Now please excuse me because I have some sort of crib sheets I'm going by and information that I've written so I don't ramble on. I want to make the videos as short as I can but give you the information you need to see what's going on with the detectors that I make. And invent and build. By the way, this is something I've been working on for quite a long time, at least 20 years. So essentially what I want to talk about is the long-range explosive detector. It's a handheld detector, and I'm going to hold up a sheet, and basically it detects explosives, bombs, and different types of materials. Now, let me just show you this sheet here. I do have some white papers on this that you can ask, and if you email me at wburchard@andronicssuperblue.com, we'll see about getting your white paper. So this is the unit right here that you're looking at. This is one of them. So let me take and talk about the detector. Now the detector is a detector that, once again, just to back up a little bit, if you look at my other video about the super blue domain of PolyShift 4, you can get a good idea of what I'm talking about and how things would operate. And if you understand that video a little bit, you'd probably understand more of what I'm going to talk about with the explosive detector. The detector has a very long range in it. It can go 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Very hard to do. I don't believe there's any detector on the market that would do that, because we do this in sort of a different way. And once again, please excuse me looking down, but I have to go by my notes here. So we have a detector, explosive detector. This particular detector is what we call an active gun detector. Active meaning it sends out electromagnetic signals, special electromagnetic signals, and of course we get a reflective energy back. I call it a bounce back. This type of reflective energy comes back. Once again, this is one method, only one method that comes back. Energy comes back, we receive it, we look at it. Now, radar does the same thing. There's some other methods. Radar looks at, of course, other types of things. We look at what we call a cumulative SRC code, a signature recognition code. Now, this code is loaded with information. You have to know what you're looking for. It's just like, you know, if you go into a thrift store, you have to know what kind of you're looking for to really get out the good stuff. We do that. We know how to do that. We've been working on that, a number of engineers and scientists, for many years. Working with universities, working with the government, different things. This SRC code is very important. It's a signature code that everything has a code. Everything has a pattern. And basically it is some sort of a pattern that we see, that we can recognize. Soap, water, down to the atom level. We look at this signature recognition code in a raw form. We have to then take it into an analog form and convert it into a digital form, and then we get a type of picture we're looking for. So everything, explosives, anything like that, has a different type of picture. Not only does it have a different type of picture, it has a certain type of rate of change and a difference of potential. And this is why you need to look at that other video that I made about, let's just say, how the earth and gel works in it, and kind of other complicated things. But getting back to what we're talking about here, we're looking at those pictures, that code, those patterns. Now, normally if you had a vision system like facial recognition, that's fine. They do facial recognition, okay? They look at lines, edges, shapes, shades, things like that. That's fine. That works a little bit. But if they really were going to look at things that look at difference of potential and rates of change, they would do what we call in calculus like a slicing, like a dv over dt. They would take the integral that, you know, you have to really kind of know a little bit about calculus to understand what I'm talking about. We take slices of information and then we put this back together and we come with a picture. So, what does that picture tell us? Well, a picture tells us what's out there. It tells us what we're really looking for. What is out there? Do we open that tunnel up to see that, what's happening? Yes. Do we use motion techniques? Yes. Many different types of motion techniques. But what this does is it gives us a really solid idea of what we're looking at. We can look at something close, far away, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Okay. Yes, sometimes the power is important, but if we open up a channel, power is not that important. The rate of change between two objects is what's important, and the difference of potential. As if you think about it, everything has a difference of potential. When you walk, you have a difference of potential. You're going from one place to another. If it were the same potential, you'd never be able to walk. It's quite an interesting concept in theory. So if you had no difference of potential, nothing would move. Absolutely. That is motion. Now this is not taken on the quantum level. All it does apply to the quantum level, but on the bigger picture on motion, what I talked about in my other video, difference of potential is really very important. Very important. And the rate of change is very important. It's not the typical rate of change that you think. It's a different aspect and a different view of using rate of change and difference of potential. So this is partially why these detectors work. They work very well, absolutely. They work very well. If we were to do facial recognition with this type of technology, it'd be much better. You'd have much more information about what you're looking at. Once again, the rate of change, difference of potential. So we're getting back, so we take this electromagnetic signal, we send it out. Now, it does not have to be an electromagnetic signal. It can be a motion-generated signal. Everything on the Earth here, yes, we are an electromagnetic sort of sphere, if you will, but everything does not have to revolve around electromagnetics. It really revolves around motions and motion bits and things like that. If we start changing those motion bits and that gel that I'm talking about with the other video, then you understand that, wow, we can have a great technology. We can have different types of energy. Energy that doesn't cost much money to do. Little to get it started, in a sense. I worked with one very famous scientist, Rocky Johnson, and Rocky came up with some really good ideas, and some other gentlemen in Dallas, Texas. Really sharp, great engineers, some MIT people. So I have quite a bit of experience over the last 20 years working on this. This is how the detector was really designed, this type of theory and technology and mechanisms. And we have designed this, and we have this in operation. So without talking too much and talking too long, that just gives you a good idea about sort of why the detector can work and how it does work. It does give you the basics. There is a lot that goes to it, into it. Functionality, mechanics, physics, software. You need to know. It gets into a lot of different disciplines, and this is what I want to try and explain. I guess try and explain the technology, but it's going to take a while to do it, other than a 5 or 15-minute video. If you want to contact me at wburchardanitronics.superglue.com, please do. I'll put this on a write-up, and you can ask me to come and give a presentation, a paper on this. So far, government has not thought about this. I don't know why. We have some really brilliant scientists all over the country. I mean, we got them. I don't know what they're thinking, but they approach things a lot different than I do. I'm a very pragmatic, practical, but a scientist also, scientific type engineer, if you will. And this is what I like to study and what I do. I actually like to build products and things and make them work. I have done this in this particular detection technology. So once again, this is William Burchard, coming to you from America. I want to thank you very much. Everything is inspired by God and from God, whom I believe in, and give Him all the honor and glory. And thank you, gentlemen, for watching my video. Have a great day.